After State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani delivered that major upset in the New York City mayoral race, MAGA World responded with an onslaught of racist and Islamophobic attacks against him. Ultra-right-wing influencers like Laura Loomer and Charlie Kirk tried to tie him to a new 9/11. We're also hearing from elected lawmakers like Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who invoked 9/11, while her GOP colleague, Marjorie Taylor Greene, posted this doctored image of the Statue of Liberty. And Trump advisor Stephen Miller, well, he mentioned a failure to, quote, control migration. He says that this is the reason why we have Zohran Mamdani as likely the Democratic primary winner. I think the question for me about this is, will this all just backfire?
How does that not set you off, brother? Don't share misinformation after you said it over and over again that it wasn't confirmed. It's fine. People are being overly careful. It's okay.
I think this is just one of another example of a trend of the Trump administration and his proxies othering people with their language, right? You saw Vice President call Senator Padilla Jose Padilla intentionally. You saw President Trump has previously asked Asian staffers, where are you really from? Matt Walsh, another proxy for President Trump, made an implication that because a significant percentage of people in New York are foreign born, that it's not an American city anymore. This is an administration that has vilified the word diversity. So for some reason, this administration has forgotten that the bedrock of our society is immigration and new Americans. It's not just multi-general Americans. It's everybody coming together to make the diversity of our country special. And this dog whistle and this signaling is candidly disgusting and has no place in America.
Mamdani was on MSNBC tonight, and he actually responded to some of this. Listen.
It's sad in that in one sense it's unsurprising, and in another it is still deeply disappointing to see what politics has become in this moment. To have to deal with regular death threats where I'm told that someone is going to blow up my car and is going to kill me and my family and the people that I love.
I mean, frankly, it's like, okay, you disagree with his policies, Why is it that the number one line of attack against him on the right is that he's Muslim?
I don't know if that is number one attack, Abby. I mean, I think in our conversation tonight, we've been focused pretty much on the policy.
I mean, you have. I'm not talking about you. Look, you're invited to this table. I'm talking about the people who, as we just showed, that is what they say. He's a Muslim. He's an immigrant. This is what makes him unacceptable.
I'm not going to sit here and condone it, Abby. I think the reality, though, is
condemn it.
Yeah, sure. But I think there's performative artists on both sides, in both sides of politics today, and
yeah. Go ahead, explain to me what's happening on the other side. What, calling racist senators racist, for example? Is that what the other side is? You know, it's both sides. Like my side is saying that a Muslim mayor that has openly stated his position as literally the fucking most popular position you can arrive at in American politics at the moment, which is that Israel needs to stop doing a genocide. I'm going to cynically claim that actually is an indication that he is a anti-Semitic, scary anti-Semitic terrorist who wants to fucking kill all Jews and maybe even kill all Americans. And then if you turn around and say, hey, man, that's kind of racist. What the fuck are you doing? Well, you're smearing me, too.
As intolerable as some of the rhetoric is, the reality is that the last two assassination attempts on Donald Trump were from leftists. Assassination attempt on Brett Kavanaugh was from leftists.
What? Dog. Both were either registered Republicans or former Trump voters. Ryan Ruth, sure, he wasn't. He was a NATO voter for sure. He was just a one singular NATO voter at the time of the assassination, still a former Trump supporter, okay?
So
the other dude was a registered Republican. Sorry. Sucks that, like, your side is so violent and so belligerent that sometimes they even end up doing violence to you.
The rhetoric on the right, but it seems...
And also, rhetoric on the right, you bald... Rhetoric on the right, a psychopathic right-wing Christian fascist mercenary literally went to the homes of numerous Democratic Party politicians in the state of Minnesota and assassinated one of the Democratic politicians and her husband, and then tried to assassinate another one and his wife. That happened literally like a week ago. What do you mean? And he had a list of killing even more Democratic the politicians in the state.
It's like it's always focused on the right and actually not focused on the actions on the left.
Yo, 2 elected officials in Minnesota were killed. They were Democrats. That wasn't an assassination attack. They were killed.
They were killed. And
Hold on, let me
There's still
finish.
a question about the motive of the person who did it.
These were 2.
You have a question about the motive of the person who did it? He had a fucking hit list of all Democrats. He was a evangelical sociopath. His fucking roommate literally said he loves Donald Trump. He would get mad if he heard that he wasn't a fucking Donald Trump fan. He had a list of over 50 Democrats, man. What do you mean you need more motive than that? Like the fact that this is even entertained, the fact that this statement that is so open and shut, like this issue is so open and shut, like the audacity of Republicans to even entertain this insane notion, like the reverse of the events that unfolded not that fucking long ago. Oh my God.
2 Democratic elected officials in Minnesota who were killed. The Tree of Life synagogue shooting, killed. Christchurch, New Zealand, slaughtered. AME Church in South Carolina. On and on and on.
Catholic.
What the fuck did this come from? What is this?
Original sin and its disease of hate and racism towards black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on
You
the
can't be calm about
attempts?
this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment on
Listen
that.
to what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and
racist.
obesity
Yes, I can't
and
comment on
diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Jamal,
but unfortunately, we're still here.
Jamal, the hate's coming from one side.
Jamal, I feel your passion and I understand where you're coming from. Sincerely, I really, really do. It happens on both sides, Jamal. You
Oh my
might
fucking
think it happens
God.
more on your side, Jamal.
I wish dude, this is crazy. This hard cut is crazy. Whoever uploaded this video did a crazy thing.
Abner Louima, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, black cops in Memphis. It's not the same. And I don't want to qualify or quantify pain. That's not what I'm talking about. Everyone goes through pain. But the racism in this country is the disease that will destroy us. And it's destroying us right now as we speak.
You're a divided
January
country,
6th,
100%.
everybody was pardoned. Everybody's pardoned. Riots in LA, they're insurrectionists. But we pardoned everyone January 6th.
So, Congressman,
this
I was
is
there
America.
January 6th. I was evacuated January 6th. That was not a racist incident. I don't know why you're making that
My
connection.
man was walking through the Capitol with a
I was
Confederate
there.
flag.
I was evacuated, Congressman.
What does the Confederate flag represent?
Come on, Congressman.
This hard cut is so funny. Okay, wait, hold on.
Watch the images that come up with black people hanging from trees and white people looking and eating sandwiches. This
And
is America.
and
We can deal with it or
America's
not.
the only
Why are
nation-
you in
the
denial?
only- Stop it. I'm not saying.
Let me let
America's
Mark
the only
respond.
nation that actually fought among itself to free slaves.
So, I mean, but what are you suggesting, Mark? I mean, I think.
What?
Listen.
Wait, what?
You in
The
denial.
only, stop it. I'm not saying.
Let me let
America's
Mark
the only
respond.
nation that actually fought among itself to free slaves.
Okay. What does it? That's not answering the question about what does the Confederate flag mean. You should be on his side, getting angry at the fact that there are still people who hold on to this fucking loser ass, insurrectionist, terrorist ass flag for a movement that wanted to purchase black humans and continue the purchase and sale of black people. Yeah. America also, I don't know if you know this, but fought hard to keep slavery going. And that's what the Confederate flag represents.
So, I mean, but what are you suggesting, Mark? I mean, I think, listen, I don't think it's helpful to be in a sort of pain Olympic.
Like, what's really funny about this is that, yeah, a lot of other countries that engaged in the slave trade stopped doing it without a fucking civil war, okay? This doesn't make them more admirable, but it just shows the unique depravity of Americans. Like, hello? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, dude. There are countries that were like, yeah, man, we can't sustain this. Obviously, Haiti is an exception. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Around this stuff, right? However, I think it is both true that there is a lot of racist violence in this country today, political violence in this country today. The political violence does sometimes target people on the left, sometimes it targets people on the right.
The only reason right-wing extremists aren't responsible for a greater percentage of deaths in the past decade is because of extremists acting irresponsible for radicalism as ideology. We consider only left and right-wing extremists in the past decade. 95% of deaths tracked by the ADL are a function of right-wing extremists. 10 of the deaths that occurred in 2022 occurred at the mass shooting at the grocery store in a black neighborhood of Buffalo. This comports with a recent pattern according to the ADL. By the way, the ADL, oh man, the ADL cooked themselves with this one. Attacks by right-wing extremists were primarily driven by white supremacist attacks against racial and religious minorities. Yeah. Murders connected to political extremism by type: white supremacy and anti-government, other right-wing, Islamist, left-wing, other. Source ADL, by the way. Grain of salt, grain of salt. The overwhelming majority of domestic terror incidents before and after 9/11 have always been at the hands of right-wing anti-government extremists, okay? Like, 9/11 is the exception, and it's not even domestic terror, it's foreign terror. Ironically enough, one could very easily, maybe one such as myself has very famously and very easily made the argument that those were our boys too. They were right-wing extremists that we trained, sometimes on U.S. soil, as a matter of fact.